Yeah,
Hey there,
yeah,
how are you?
I'm cool.
Thanks for the
Yeah,
invitation.
it's good to have you on this live stream.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you here, sincerely. And like we are all creatives, and ever since we started this Mavens talk shop, we've seen a lot of people from different parts of the world,
Mhm.
and I'm glad to have you too on this talk shop. Yeah. So basically, the first thing is introduction. So I'd like to introduce myself to the world because we
Sure.
have to introduce ourselves first. So I am Lima Smith. I'm a music producer. I'm a recording artist, and anything music, I'm in for it.
Right.
So would you like to just let people know you?
Yeah, sure. I'm Jake. I'm an Italian living in Barcelona in Spain, and I'm a singer, producer, sound designer, manager, mentor. I basically do everything in music. So yeah, that's pretty much long story short. Started when I was a kid, 8 years old,
Oh my
and
god.
then I continued ever since.
Yeah, definitely. As you can see, so Jake is a legend in this game. Like someone starting from childhood. Apparently, most of us started from childhood too. But
Yeah,
you are a
yeah, that's
legend.
true.
You are a legend in this game, and and we like to have some things. We like to share some of your ideas with the world. I would like to share some things with you too, so we can at least. This is a creative world. We have to network. We have to talk about the creative aspect of the music industry and a lot more. So now let's talk about the first thing I have on my table right here is in this era of advanced technology, how can creatives maintain originality? Because we have everywhere now AI, AI, AI. Oh my
Yeah,
God, it's like
yeah.
something different entirely. So now, how do we maintain originality like with this Gen Z that we are now?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I don't remember who said it, but first of all, I'd like to break down the idea of originality. I think it was a famous musician back in the day, in the 70s, the 60s, something like that, that says there is almost no true 100% originality.
Hmm.
We're all copying from somebody else. We're all the time assimilating what we heard, what we saw, what we experienced, because that's what life is. It's probably impossible to come up with something that 100% out of nowhere.
Hmm.
I mean, you will write, you will compose, you will produce with the background that you have, the cultural background, and what you listen to. I will do the same. So first of all, I like the concept because it breaks down and it takes originality down from the from that paradise that like, oh my God, I have all the time to be original. Then coming to your question, in my opinion, the problem with technology is that it kills the process.
Hmm.
So technology takes you from A to B without passing from B to C, and that's
Exactly.
and that's where I see the problem. And it's not just AI because everybody is talking about AI, which is good, but when the digital came in, it was the people started to cheat already there. When there was back in the day, when you had to record, when you had to produce a guitar, you had to play the guitar. As of today, you have VST, you have chord packs, and
Exactly.
people, you probably receive the same. And I get from time to time, I get quite pissed off when you are shown on YouTube, like, hey guys, if you don't know anything about music, like me, you don't know nothing about music theory, just download this pack, just download. Come on, man. I mean, if you, I always think if you like something, you would want to know more about that.
Hmm.
So I don't think that technology is a problem for itself. I think that humanity makes a wrong use of technology most of the
Hmm.
time.
Write that down. Write that down. That's amazing. That's amazing. Humanity. Oh my God. I love this your point. Like, a lot of people have actually changed our orientation about AI, advanced technology, and lots more, But you have to just know the aspects and how far you want to use it. We've been
Exactly.
doing AI like the last. I have the talk shop with a Grammy Award winning music producer. That's Troy Taylor too from the US. He said we've been doing AI without AI alone. Like we've been doing AI since, like
Exactly.
autotune, using all this
Exactly.
kind of effects, filter and stuff like that, just to bring out the quality we want in music. But basically, what people don't understand is, people tend to go for something that is more original, something unique, and so
Yeah,
now, but it depends on the aspect of music, how you want to actually use it. And like you said, we are focusing on the AI.
yeah.
What of our samples? What of our VST plugins? Are they real? They are not real,
and
definitely.
and
And we are just focused.
and especially, and that kills the other part of creativity, because if we're all using the same samples,
Exactly.
then the sound itself is all sounds the same, because we're having I remember also Hans Zimmer was saying the same, because he attended like a competition of film
Mm,
composers, and he
mm,
said, I can hear that everybody is using the same libraries, the same VSTs. So when I think about an artist who shaped the history, I'm also thinking not just of a technique. I'm thinking about a signature sound, and that signature sound has to be developed. So that's why, and I was doing a podcast 2 weeks ago with an AI label, an AI music
okay.
label, and he said the concept is that if you don't have a vision, you are creating music without a vision. So
Hmm,
you are choosing a synthesizer, an AI tool, autotune, samples or no samples, but without a purpose. You're just doing it because you can. the the
definitely.
the real difference, in my opinion, between an artist who does what I, in my opinion, is art, and somebody who is just making music, is to have a vision.
Hmm.
Plain and simple, in my opinion.
Just simple, definitely. So definitely, if you're not good as a person, if you have not built your craft to an extent, AI will not even help you.
Yeah, exactly. AI will just, okay, I can imagine that in my hip hop song, I can put like a violin. So I will prompt in the AI, but with no purpose. It's just like, okay, let's mess around,
It,
which
it,
is
it,
good. Sometimes it's fun to have fun. And some of the greatest
exactly.
ideas are being born randomly. I'm not saying that you don't have to. The problem is that whenever this will come like in bulk. It will be like a mass production, and people will try to prompt in the songs instead of composing the songs. That's the problem. And but I
Oh
don't.
wow.
But I think that this. I mean, we can't avoid that. And we have seen with the mobile phones. So you mentioned the Gen Z. I'm no Gen Z. I'm a millennial. So I remember when the first iPhone came in, we
Mm,
were all making fun of it. We were
definitely.
like, no, this is never gonna stick. In a couple of years, we're gonna forget about that. Look at us today. So
Oh my God, you killed it! You killed it! And that's why we have Jakes on this live stream, and I'm very happy to have you. Sincerely speaking, I'm
thanks
I'm
a
glad
lot.
to have you here. And without further ado, I'd like to go for the next question. And the next question is actually, as many creatives tend to focus on their craft, do you think creatives should also understand the business of creativity? Because like the world is going right now, everybody's trying to say, okay, my reality, producer have to have this kind of reality on every music, the noise online.
Yeah.
We don't know how the industry works. Should we focus on that, or rather just focus on the craft and just get a manager to help you in that aspect of business?
That's a very good question. I make one step back to make two forward. In my opinion, creativity, it's something that not just in music, anywhere in life, has nothing to do with business.
Hmm.
I mean, being creative means that I have a problem, I have an idea, I try to think out of the box in order to reach to a point that I visualize, that I see myself. And I also study neuroscience. I give conferences about how the sound impacts to the brain, and how we can reshape our personality with the sound. And it's funny to learn that the creative part of our brain works completely different than the rational part of our brain.
Hmm.
So, in other words, sometimes, and that's the sad truth, what is highly creative might not be highly profitable in business.
Hmm.
That's simply the way it is. You might
Someone
have
should
a
write that
great
down. I love it.
you might have a great idea that doesn't create real money.
Hmm.
Period. Because it's not the right moment in history, because it's not the right style of music. If today you love rock music, you're like 50 years delayed. So that's what it is. Now, I, for example, suggest people to know, of course, about the business side of music, because that's of course, as of today, if you want to make a sustainable living, or you want to integrate music or creativity as an income source in your life, you need to know what can be turned into business, what kind of choices you have to make. Basically, I was saying that, in my opinion, yeah, if somebody feels that they're not sufficiently skilled in the business part of this, you should get advice. Also, because as of today, the what the music label used to do, then it's gonna be the artist's task to build a team of different skills and knowledges, because labels will not support the artists as they used to. So you're not getting all these people around you with different skills. So somebody who can advise you from a financial standpoint, from a strategic standpoint, from a branding standpoint, from a marketing standpoint, from a production standpoint. So of course, all these different things, you can't do it on your own. You can't. It's simply
Never.
impossible. So what I did in my life is that at a certain point, I wanted to learn everything, because I wanted to know who to trust and who not to trust. So I did learn. As of today, I'm like a mentor, an advisor, a counselor, and depending on the artist, sometimes I produce them, sometimes I counsel on the marketing side, on the branding side, on the strategy for selling, for growing, for digital platforms. So it really depends, because of course it took me 20 years to find these answers, and also to bust a lot of myths that you can find in the industry, because we are told a lot of things of how things are supposed to go. And man, I can tell you that, mm, for me, 70 to 80% of all things are just like bullshit. It's
Hmm.
lies. It's lies.
Hmm.
So
Oh my God.
to answer straightly your question is that, yeah, I do suggest that artists will seek for counsel and advice when it comes to develop their branding and marketing strategy, because one other certain aspect is that as of today, making music is not enough. There are more than 100,000 songs released per day, per day. So can you imagine just say, hey man, I dropped one more song, have a listen to that?
Just like,
Too
obviously no one
too
is.
much, too much. So that's why every artist has to work on his communication, and make themselves standing out from a communicative standpoint, because musically speaking, it's very difficult. Yeah,
Oh, definitely, definitely. Like I just grabbed something from what you just said, like right now, and you said definitely some people can be talented, and they might not have what will sell the market, what the market, like the market, what the community
exactly,
want. So definitely, record labels won't go for someone that is talented, but someone that will sell their market
exactly.
because they want sales. But for independent artists that is creative enough to bring out art, so they should try to learn the aspect of they should understand the business part, but not take it up, so that it won't
Yeah,
in the process of learning.
and especially because and I'm saying above all for youngest generations, that they haven't lived through the era of the record. So the old business model was all revolving around the record sales. When the digital came in, I all the time I produce or counsel artists every week, and they are not aware of how poor it gets paid the royalty on Spotify
Oh
or
my
on the
God.
digital platform. So people are thinking that by dropping a song, you are actually you are making your investment again. No, man,
No,
no.
it doesn't
And
work that way.
even 1 million streams on Spotify, if they are localized on Central Europe and United States, they are the revenue is about from $3,000 to $5,000,
Hmm.
which is not absolutely is not that much if you consider how much you should spend to drive all the traffic to generate the
Exactly.
1 million streams. And if you have a label, forget about it, because at least they take 50% of the cut. So that's why people get so because they see the tens of thousands of streams, and they think that the artists are getting rich. No,
Hmm.
it's not. So
It's not
if you
definitely.
have to do it on your own, and if you're thinking, because I love seeing artists who say, okay, I dream of becoming famous and rich, but if it doesn't happen, it's okay. All I want is to make my music and be heard. So I like that mental state. But on the other hand, you have to know that, of course, you might have to look the other way, because as of today, it's completely different from the old business model
Hmm.
where you could sell 1,000 records and you could make margin out of your investment if you auto produce yourself. As of today, it's not like that. So I always provoke the artists. There's also my mentoring program. It's a one-on-one mentoring program, and it starts with what are we really selling as of
Hmm.
today in the
Hmm.
post-record era, because we're no longer selling records. We're not.
Oh my god. Someone should
We're
write this
not.
down. Oh my god. This is deep.
And it makes you think. And me, man, I'm almost, I mean, I just got 37 this year, and it seems so logical and so simple, but it took me decades to figure it out,
Wow.
because I am older than you, but I'm not that old. So of course I was born into the transition from the analog to the digital.
Wow.
And so for a long time I was chasing the platforms, I was chasing the social media, because everybody was doing it. And so at a certain point I was like, what am I doing? I
Hmm.
mean, what are we really doing? And so you start to learn. Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's a big thing. Sincerely, it's a very big thing because a lot of artists don't know about this, and this is a very huge opportunity. Because I can see
I
a lot of
agree.
artists and music producers that are just starting off coming on this live session. I think this is the best time you can learn from the legend. It's best to ask your question now so that we can treat it before
Totally.
you end the live soon in just few minutes. Because you've actually learned a lot. Personally, I've learned a lot too. I know it's the platform to learn and to unlearn. So it's a creative word. So definitely, artists should at least understand it because there are a lot of artists that have been duped at the long run too. So you have to understand the business, but don't just take it up. Focus on your craft. Do your music. If it pays, if it doesn't, just know that it's your craft and you have to do it. Is that what you
Well,
mean, sir?
uh, that's a very crucial part of it. I like to study history in order to locate ourselves in time, because when we are thinking about, oh my God, I want to become like a Taylor Swift, Michael Jackson, or the Beatles, we're talking about not even 100 years in the music industry. What
Hmm.
do I mean is that becoming a superstar by selling records is about what happened over the last 70 to 80 years.
Hmm.
Now, the first music instrument is dated 40,000 years ago.
Hmm.
That means that for at least 39 to 38,000 years, music has not been a business. Period.
Definitely.
It has always been like a collective experience, like a mystical experience, a religious experience, but it wasn't a business. People were contributing to themselves. They were, of course, I don't know, the artists were not starving all the time, but that's what I like to focus, because when we are feeling entitled, oh, because I sing, I have to make money.
Exactly.
I
Oh my god.
mean, you have to make that happen. It's not something that has to become a demand. You
Hmm.
have to make it happen. You have to create value for which the people are feeling okay in giving money to you.
The
Uh,
crafts will call for it.
yeah.
The
So,
crafts will call for it.
so yeah, yeah. So that's why I live by making only music, but I had a day job for 12 years that helped me financing my studies, financing my first steps in the career. So, like you said, uh, the best thing that you can do with music is to start off as a hobby. If you think that you are serious about that and you want to turn into a profession, start to build it around while you still have a job, and then eventually things will roll at a certain moment in which you can switch and you can quit your day job, or even not, because that's another important thing. Being an artist has nothing to do with the profession of an artist. You might be an extremely great artist, even if you're being, I don't know, a cook or a car
Exactly. It's something
driver
different
or
entirely.
whatever. I mean, that doesn't affect your creativity and your capability to create something with music. So that has nothing to do. For me, I wanted to become a profession because I loved it so much that I wanted to wake up in the morning and only think of music, period. But it's perfectly fine if somebody else says, I love music and I also love having a bar or doing something else. That's fantastic. And let me also tell you that this is even more freedom, because if you're not all the time thinking, oh my God, I have to make the money back that I spent to make music, you are even more free to create because you're not
Hmm.
chasing the trend of the market. You don't care if you're not making a hit music, a hit song, a platinum disc. Who cares? You're making the music that you want. One person will listen to that, 10 people will listen to that, 100 people will listen to that, and you won't care because you still have food on the table, a roof on your head, and that's fine. So give music
Wow.
time.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I think a lot of artists should have learned a lot of things from this, because a lot of people are coming into this industry because of the money, per se, the money, and at the end of the day, you later not make the money because the industry, like the industry, will pay for people that really has the passion
Exactly.
to actually do it. If your art is not pure, people will not come for you, and if people don't come, you can't hand the money.
Totally. And you will be astonished to know that we're always focusing on the famous people. But if you
Hmm.
count them all, they're perhaps less than the 1% of those who tried and who are trying to make music. So it's also about time that we understood that that thing doesn't exist. It's not a model. It's not something that you can replicate. These people are like um, are let's say a mix of some talents and also luck. That thing that happened, it has to happen. But it's important to know that the 90% of artists of a record label are not generating any money. This is statistics. So normally the 5% of music of artists under a label, they generate the revenues. For the rest of the 95% that are not. So that's why you just said it yourself. People are being drawn to music because of the status, because of, oh yeah, I want to be rich, I want to be famous, I want to have a lot of girls around me. But that thing is like less than the 1% of people, and they're being used because they can influence millions and millions of other people that are
Exactly.
losing their ways in the process. And I'm also telling you this: the music industry, because I have worked and I worked with important levels of the music industry, they feed on those money.
Hmm.
A big a, a big cog of the music industry is financed by the wannabe artists
Hmm.
that are ready to give them all to spend their life savings or 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 euro because the famous producer said, yo, man, if you come to me, I'm going to make you a superstar. For you, $50,000 could be a life debt. For them,
Hmm.
it's just peanuts. But with that thing, you're being robbed twice of your money
Heavily.
and of your dream.
Exactly. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. This is too much. This is too much.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
glad to have you on this session, sincerely speaking. And without further ado, I know some people are already putting out some question in the comment section, but before we go for the question and answer, I would
Sure.
like us to go to the next thing. And that's balancing creativity and productivity. How can creatives effectively balance creativity and productivity? Everybody wants to do something, um, and want to do it in time so that we can meet up with the industry standard and
Yeah.
the trend. So how do we do that and still be creative alongside? How do we do that?
For me, I do not think that there is a standard. I mean, it's not that I think that you have to drop one song per week, one song per month, all the time, forever and ever. What I do believe is that being consistent and disciplined will help you to create a new mentality and a new pattern in your energy and in your mindset. Because
Mm,
it's okay to sit down and make music when you are inspired, but that thing is not controllable. And it also, in my opinion, creates the false myth that I only have to make music when I feel like. Again, if it's not your job and if you don't aim to become a professional, that's fantastic. You can produce one song a year, and that's awesome. Absolutely, do it.
mhm,
If you have to make it, imagine like Leo Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo, that they
mm.
want to win the championship, but it's like, today I don't want to train. I won't. I would do it. No, this week, it's just like summertime. I just want to be at the beach. No, I'm not doing it. You're not becoming excellent at what you do if
Mm,
you don't take this seriously. So productivity, in my opinion, it's something that I also teach that in my mentorship, is about there are techniques to train ourselves to be more disciplined and to write or do something every day. Whether it's like writing, if you're a songwriter, write something every day. If you're a music producer, take at least 30 to 40 minutes to produce a piece of beat every day or every couple of days. That's simply a pattern. So you won't need to wait for the inspiration and the lightning that strikes in order to to start doing things. And at a certain point, you will understand that the greatest idea for the next song could be a piece that you wrote 1 year before,
mm.
and you have a database of things, and you are keeping your mind you know uh, going around. So in my opinion, that's the balance that you have to reach. Then the best artist is the best artist, the artist that produces more? No, I don't think so. I
Mm,
don't think so. There are
mm.
artists like Taylor Swift, like Prince. Prince, I don't know if you heard about him.
Yeah, yeah.
It's okay. Prince, he was known for making one song per day, one song per day.
Wow.
He locked himself up in the studio at 8 9 in the morning, and he ended up like recording one song because he believed not in imperfection, in the flow. He was like, I'm doing one song every day. I don't care if it's perfect or not. I don't care if there are
I
mistakes.
just have
I'm just making a
to
song.
do it.
I just have to do it. When he died, they discovered that the music that he published, which was quite a lot, was less than the 10% of all the music that he recorded throughout the entire lifetime. So I admire him,
Mm,
but I don't believe that this makes you better than another person. So you
mm.
have to find your own balance. I love some artists like Pink Floyd. They came out every 3 to 4 years with a new record. In those 4 years, they were working probably on just the next record. Period. They were not making 1,000 songs. So I think that it's kind of there is one objective thing, which is you have to make this as a habit. Creativity is a state of being, and
Hmm.
that thing is that what you have to work about. Then how many songs you will become in you will produce every month, that's in my opinion, it's in the it is it's subjective. Everybody will
Hmm.
find their own ways. You will have some moments in which you will be more productive, some other periods in which you will be less productive, and that's fine.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is sharp. Oh my god. You killed it. Definitely. Definitely. Because I can see a lot of artists are coming into the studio and a lot of them are disturbed. They have good crap. They have good concept. They have nice concept. They have nice music to pull out. But they're concerned about the industry. Oh my god. I have to like produce every time. I have to
Yeah,
do this. And at the end of the day, try not to do something, push out something that is not up to quality. Fine, you want to be
exactly.
productive. but
exactly.
you
And
shouldn't put
and
out
and
something
and,
that is
and,
not
ju-
up to
and just
quality.
link and just linking back to the first question, if you are forcing the productivity, then you will kill even more the originality, because if you are dropping every day a new song, probably they will all sound like, they will all be similar, because
Exactly.
you can't have great ideas all the time. You can't. Period.
Oh
Period.
my God.
So unless you are like Prince did believe in that. He didn't care about how good that song sounded. He didn't.
Hmm.
If you are
Just putting
like
it out.
him, fantastic. If you're not, but then, like you said, the problem most of the time comes from who you have behind. From these people, if you have a label, they might be very stressful in pushing you. You have to give me a new song, new songs, and then whenever you have a good hit song, they will ask you to replicate that hit song over and over again.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Oh
yeah,
my God.
that
Oh my
happens.
God. This is an industry secret that many artists will not know. So I can see a lot of artists that are earning some things on this life. If you have actually learned one or two, just try to follow Sir Jakes and follow my profile so that you can learn. Lord, a lot is coming. We are still going to have this some other time, I believe.
Yeah,
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 and the
definitely,
last question on
definitely.
my list before we go to the comment section, because we are gonna answer some of your comments, and we are gonna give some answers to your questions in the comment sections. Is that was what actually brought this podcast. That was what actually brought this. I found your video, and you said um you're talking about the
Yeah,
creativity. If you can remember that day, we're actually talking about creativity. I was talking about my own, and we're like, okay, find out about this with one of the producers I've hosted in the past, probably about 2 months ago now. So now, we're talking about, are there really boundaries to creativity? Are there really boundaries? Like,
I don't think so. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And but it's good to keep reminding ourselves that there are no boundaries, because we think that we are in the modern world so enlightened, so open-minded, and the reality is that it's not. Because most of the time that we are creating something, we're thinking, "Oh my God, how this is gonna perform on TikTok or Instagram? Is it a trend topic? Is it not? Am I going?" Off topic, on topic? Am I following the trend, or am I going against the trend? So you can actually, there are some tricks that you can learn to understand how many times our mind is blocking ourselves. So I love making experiments with music. Some songs that I write and produce in my studio, they will never see the light because they sound like shit, because I wanted to make experiments with creativity. Because whenever you are creating, there are no boundaries. And always think that one of the best advices that gave me my piano teacher when I learned the piano, he said, "Do you think that all the music theory that come from the big composers like Mozart, Beethoven, do you think that these people were sitting and thinking about, oh, okay, now I have to play like a seventh scale with the augmented ninth note and stuff?" They
oh
were
no,
playing, and
no.
then like math, people basically extracted the music theory out of the compositions. So I don't believe that, especially when you are making music on your own, just break free. There are no fucking boundaries. And remind that to you, because the things that are, and especially as of today, with the mainstream sounds so boring, sounds so all the same. Me personally, I am super thrilled when I hear news, when I hear like an artist says, "Oh my God, why did you put like a classical instrument on a hip hop song? Why did you put like a violin on a, I don't know, black metal song?"
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Blues,
Maybe
jazz, just mix things together.
I I might not like it, and that's fine. But I do appreciate that you are living the artist's way, and the artist's way is that when you are creating, there are no boundaries. Then the reality, of course, has boundaries. The market has boundaries, um, and that's what we said before. Uh, the business of the artist, most of the time, has nothing to do with art itself. They're two
Mm.
separate things. It's like religion and God. God
Mm.
is God. Religion is what another human being
Exactly.
says about God. They're not the
Mm.
same, but we think that they
Exactly.
are. They're
Oh
not.
my God.
They're not. So think about how art was born. I don't know much about it, but think about paintings. The
Mm.
paintings and the pictures is like there is a art critics that says, "Oh, this artist is great." So from now on, that painting is worth millions of dollars. The next best artist who hasn't received any feedback like that, he can paint the same or better than the other artist, but apparently his picture is worth $5.
Mm.
So it's most of the time what other human beings said about something. It's not about an absolute truth. So creativity is all over the place. And we are small human beings. So never fall for that trap, in my opinion.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. You just killed it. You just killed it. I think a lot of people have learned a lot from this talk show, and I'm surprised that they to have you. I'm surprised that they to host you on
I'm
this
pleased.
amazing
Thanks a
talk
lot.
show. Yeah. If you have a question in the comment section, you can just put your questions down so we can actually treat them before the legend,
Wow.
follow the legend. You know,
It's too much. I'm no legend.
definitely
I'm
we have a
no.
lot coming. Without further ado, let me just say we should introduce ourselves again. Once more, I'm Leoma Smith. I'm a music producer. I'm a musician, and anything music, you find me there. I love to be among the, and that was what actually prompted this talk shop. I love to be. I love to engage with creatives from different parts of the world. I love to work with a lot of people. Just do something creative, try to get inspired, and learn and unlearn because you can learn it all, definitely.
Totally,
So
totally.
I think this is a platform to network and to learn and to actually know how the industry really works. So let's know more of you, like, just introduce yourself again to the world.
Yeah, I'm Jake. I'm an Italian guy living in Barcelona in Spain, and I'm a singer, composer, producer, manager, sound designer. So I like you, I'm absolutely passionate about music. I dedicated my entire life, and so that's what I basically do and did. I dedicated everything to the learning and constantly acquiring skills. And at a certain point, I felt that I wanted to help other artists to achieve not success, because success is not an absolute concept.
Hmm.
Everybody has a different opinion, and they have to have a different opinion about what success is.
Hmm.
But to reach that energetic state of feeling satisfied with your art and with your creativity.
Hmm.
It cost me a lot to achieve this peace of mind with music, this balance. So I know that it's hard. I know that it's hard, and I know that the majority of people give up because apparently it's too hard, and because the society doesn't value it the way
Hmm.
that we think that it should.
Hmm.
So I wanna spread as much as I can positivity, not telling lies. It's not easy. We have to deconstruct ourselves a lot. We have to forget a lot of things that they're untrue, but it can be done. It can be done. I was talking to another artist that I should be working with him soon, and then it said, man, it would be much easier to say, man, it's gonna be very difficult, but you're gonna make it. That's
Hmm.
very,
Oh my God.
instead of saying, yeah, no, come here, come there, you're gonna make a big star, you're gonna make. No, man, it's gonna be difficult. If you have to climb the K2, the Everest, it's like it's gonna be fucking
Hmm.
difficult. But man, you can do it. You can do it. So that's the point. And the Mount Everest, there's a peak. It's like it's not subjective. It's objective. Music is not. So making it in music, it's so broad. It's a so wide concept.
Hmm.
For some people, for me, I'm telling you, when I said to myself, I made it. I had the chance, I had the honor to make big tours, playing in front of 10,000 people, opening acts to big artists, working with big artists, but I didn't feel good enough at that point. when I felt that I had made it is when I swapped my job. I quit my day job, and for me, making it was okay. I wanted to wake up every morning and just think of music. That for me was my starting point. Then, of course, when you reach something, we are humans. So when you reach a goal, you aim for the next. I'm an ambitious
Exactly.
person and I always aim for the highest peak.
De-
But then aiming for the top, perhaps you might eventually stop at the a little bit, let's say, lower the top, and you will be happy. The important thing is about whatever you do, make it because it's important to you and make it because it makes you feel good. Then let the future and life drive you wherever you're destined to. Don't program it too much. It's not possible. It's not possible. Let music fall in love with you the same way that you fell in love with music first. That's
oh my god.
it.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is amazing. Like this is like what people actually need. Cause a lot of artists are coming in. They don't really understand how the industry is.
Yeah,
They don't really have the crafts in them. They don't really love the music. So how do you expect to
that's true.
bypass? They can't bypass it. It has a way this life goes. You have to just get through some stage. And I can say, like, from your words and your experiences, most artists, most musicians quit their jobs for music, and it
Yeah,
later pays. So definitely, it will definitely pay. If it is what you have in mind, if it is
yeah,
not that you're forcing it or something, it will definitely work out. So, oh my
yeah,
God,
yeah,
because we have to do it every day. It is something we have to do, and when you do something, when you're too consistent enough, it will definitely pay off one day. Oh my
yeah. And
God,
it's, and especially I think about why I wonder why many people feel so entitled in music. I mean, many of us go to the gym every week, every day. I don't hear them complaining because they're not offered a full-time job to be a personal trainer or a sport professional. So we do a
hmm,
lot of things that make us feel good and make us feel happy, and we don't expect them to turn into a profession. So why
hmm.
music should be any different? And
The main reason why people think music put the industry at the back of music. Music shouldn't be like saying music industry is a very big thing entirely because music is a craft.
exactly,
Music is my hobby. I was
yeah,
doing it and I noticed that it started bringing me money. That's how it should be. It
yeah,
should
and
be something
that's
you should be doing, and at the long run, you start seeing money. You start making money.
totally, totally. That's a blessing to hear about that. And there are a lot of people that think like you, but it's nice to keep telling us around because yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Then when you decide to make something turning into a profession, of course we have to know that life isn't what we expect. So when I want to become a professional of something, there will be some activities in that profession that I will love and some other things that I won't. That's simply life. So if you want to just make what you feel like doing in music, protecting it as an hobby, it's the best thing that you can do. If you want to become a professional, you have to be down for compromises. You have to be down to adapt yourself, because that's what I didn't start learning production, mixing, mastering, music business because at the time I knew that I was going to love all about this. I did it because I needed ways to monetize. Because again, I asked myself, okay, how do I quit a day job and live only by making music activities? So I searched and scouted the market and made a list of what pays and what doesn't pay, what pays in the short term, in the midterm, in the long run. And so there are some aspects that I love most. There's some other aspects that I don't love the most, but I don't complain about it because I chose it.
It's a craft. It's
Exactly,
your
exactly.
hobby. It's what you
Yeah.
love doing.
No. I mean, for me now it's a profession, but when you chose that profession, in my opinion, it's like, okay, you chose that. Stop complaining. If there's something that you don't like, you shouldn't have chosen the profession in the first place. You know what I mean? On the other hand, if it's like, okay, for example, I know a lot of artists that love to make music, but they don't love to go on stage. They
Hmm.
don't love to tour.
Wow.
They
Wow.
can't stand it. It makes too stressful. They're too shy.
Stage
And
fright.
so that's what I'm saying. Okay, if you want to be a professional, it might be difficult if you like one aspect of this and you don't like the other aspect. I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm saying that this is difficult. So just be aware that by the time that you have to, become a professional, it's just like anything else. If you have a job, you like part of that job, and other things of your job you won't. If you have a girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever, you love that person, but still you have some things that you don't like
Mm.
and you can't stand. That's simply, it's normal. It's normal.
Oh my god. Oh my
So
god.
that's why beginning has a hobby. It's the most important
Important
and
thing.
the
Exactly.
most protective way to start this off, because
Exactly.
then you give yourself time to see how deep your connection with music goes.
And you
And
can never be tired of it. You can never be tired of making it.
exactly.
Because
But still, perhaps you might feel that you will never need to become a full-time musician. It's up to
mm,
you, and that takes you nothing. It takes nothing away of you. It doesn't make you a less artist than somebody who is a professional like me, for example. It does not. It does not. It says nothing about the quality of what you create and who you are as an artist. It does not. But
mm.
now in the society we measure everything about the sales. Do you have you ever realized that when we are hearing like the first artist of this year is always for the sales, the best seller,
Mm.
the most streamed song.
Exactly. That's
and
what we care about is social media, the noise.
and so our mind is basically let's say set to the point is that okay, the most streamed, the best. No, no
No,
way,
never.
man. No
Never. It
way.
doesn't work
and,
that
and,
way.
and especially in art, there is nothing like the best. What is the best? I
Mm.
can think at least of 100 best artists that are all awesome, and they're not that one is higher, lower, whatever. I don't care about sales. If you are good at what you do, sales just represent how much money you made out of that period.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is too much. You're putting out a lot of information, sincerely. Like, a lot of artists don't know about this. They tend to compare their success with what people say. And that's one thing I would advise not to do. When you tend to rely on what people say, oh my God, because you've not gotten this certain amount of money on Spotify, you've not gotten this stream, this number, this figure, you're not good. No, it doesn't work that way. Your
Exactly,
success is, by what you said, is just judged by your achievement. Like, I've done this, then I have to move to the next step. Some people
exactly,
don't start by. Some people have never released music. They are just still learning. That's a process. Some people will
exactly.
build it.
And and
So it's a
and, all,
process.
and also, it's important to know that self-esteem is not built out of numbers. You might reach 100,000 streams and still don't feel confident about that. On the other hand, there will come a day, I can guarantee, that you make a song that nobody listens to, and you're like, wow, here I can hear that I nailed it completely.
This is
And
my heart.
that's what self-esteem is. So,
Exactly.
and that's why it's important to keep reminding ourselves, no matter if you're a Gen Z, millennials, or whatever, because in this today's world, we're so attached to numbers, and
Mm.
social recognition comes only from numbers. So if I put an Instagram post or a video on TikTok and I don't get a million views, I might feel that I'm not worth. So that's why every day we have to keep reminding ourselves this is just one thing. It doesn't say anything about my value. And my self-esteem and my value has to be built from within,
Mm.
not from without. Because from the outer world, it will never, if you let the world to drive your recognition and your self-esteem, you will never be satisfied. that
Definitely,
many more important people say that. It's not me saying that. So it's like it's
definitely,
also a psychological process. You can't be satisfied if you're all the time thinking how and what the people think about you.
definitely. And one thing I do say about it is because I was on Twitter earlier today, and I saw people saying, "Who's the king of R&B?" Some people saying R. Kelly, some people saying Usher, some people say a lot of names. Everybody tends to have their taste. I might say
Yeah,
R. Kelly, I might say Usher, I might say, everybody has their taste.
exactly, exactly.
So just keep doing your thing. You have your fans. I have my fans, you have your fans. That's the world. Since it's your thing, we're not
Totally,
forcing it on anybody. Oh
totally,
my
totally.
god. I'm super excited to have you on this creative Maven talk shop. This is a dream come true for me, sincerely. I've been dreaming about these things, and I started off this year bringing a lot of producers, musicians. If you're a musician, or probably you're a producer or anything related to music, in the comment section you can reach out to me. You can DM, he's a music like is a manager, is an artist manager, is a music producer. You can reach out to him too. It's a platform to network together so they can meet a lot of people. And
Sure.
definitely we are on different time zone now. So you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
network
yeah.
with people from the US, people from the Spain, from
Totally,
different part of the
totally.
country, of the world rather. So there's
and
a
that and
platform
that's
for that.
and that's the beauty of the technology, because at the beginning we said the shortcoming of the killing the process, but this is the good part of the technology.
Exactly.
We could have never done this 15 to 20 years ago. So this is great. This is great.
Exactly.
uh,
Oh my god. So I'm happy to have you on this platform,
Same here.
and I hope we'll
Thanks a
be able
lot
to
for
see you next
inviting.
time.
Yeah, yeah, whenever you want, man. I'm always down for this. I
Definitely.
love it.
Definitely. And once again, I am Leoma Smith, and we have.
Jake here.
Oh
Thanks a
my
lot
god.
again for the
So,
chat.
you can check my YouTube channel. I have a lot on my YouTube channel, my Instagram, my Facebook, everywhere. I'm on all the good platforms and on all social media platforms. So you can check out my stuffs there and more updates on our platforms. So if you're in the comment section and you're creative, you can reach out to me and we can come up with something. Thank you, and thanks for your time.
Good. Thanks a lot.
All
See
right,
you.
sir. Yeah.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Working with artists, first of all, is really tough. And music is a creative stuff, like it's collaborative stuff. It's artists and producer. So most times, I let the vibe take toll of us. I can't put a constructive block and say, look, this is my rules, this is my guidelines. There are principles and there are rules. Rules kill creativity, principles make it grow. So I'm a principled person, right? Once I tell the artist, this is what I want us to do, I stand by it. But at the same time, I let them also express. So it's all about expression. Some people have a different taste. This your answer has 1 million lines of answer, but personally, I'd say it's all about just laying out the basics, the foundations of the relationship between you and the artist. If you understand each other, it will go. But mostly, if it's opposite of what I'm saying is fights, kata kata, everybody will not go as the vex. Yeah, it's just about getting the best midpoint where you understand the artist, they understand you, there is a principle there, it will work.
And we're good to go.
Sorry, we're good to go.
You see why we have some producer on this podcast.
You can't expect the label to do something you wouldn't do yourself. What I mean by that is, if you're not promoting yourself now, labels not going to promote you because they follow you. So you got to get out there and get your audience. You got to get out there and build your fan base. Now, you want to do that because if you build your fan base the way you would like to, then you could keep that going. But if you get a record deal and build the fan base based off of what they say, by the time it's done, you're not going to want to keep it going because it's not who you are. Once they give you that money, they kind of sort of own you because it's like, well, if you want to do this, we need you to do this. But if you go and build yourself up as much as you can, make them come in and say, hey, we would love to partner with you, not sign you, then they're going to be relying on you to continue on what you were doing before they came, and they'll fund it. You know what I mean? Because they feel like they're going to get something from it.
Keep it simple but not basic.
Let's get straight to it.
If you listen to different kinds of music, you can easily almost count the instruments and sounds used in them.
What?
Obviously, you might look at the project, you might see a thousand file and sounds in there, but to you, you can count like 5 things or few. You want to keep it as simple as possible for the listener to digest and enjoy. You don't want to go all crazy and I can no longer enjoy the music you're trying to put out. You understand? It's just a thin line between music and noise. It's a very thin line between music and noise. You think you're making music, you're just making noise.
Everyone absolutely hits creative blocks. It's part of being human, right? I think everyone deals with them in their own unique way, though. There's definitely not a one size fits all. Like, it's very much going to be like whatever works for you. But I think for me, what works the best is just sometimes just taking a break. Here's a great example, even if it's a little bit less on the creative side and more on the mixing side. If you mix a song for 8 hours a day, your ears are going to fatigue and you're going to lose perspective. So, believe it or not, right? You could do a mix for 8 hours at night, and you wake up the next day with fresh ears, and you're like, "Oh my god, it sounds so bad." And
Exactly.
it happens to all of us, right? It's just because you took a break. It's one of the best things you can do. Like, instead of trying to put out that song in one night, like, just go to sleep, wake up the next day, and take another listen to it, and then it's like, okay, I get it. I wouldn't have heard that last night. Now I can fix that now. So for me, the biggest thing with creative blocks, I think, is take a break, but don't take too long of a break.
Back then, music used to be about the listener. It used to be about one DJ will go on radio and play this hottest new song. Everybody will vibe to it in their car. And everything. But now, music is no longer about that. It has become forex. Music has become about bottom line. Wow. It's being run by big companies now. And nobody's disputing that. You know, when you take a company public, that's what has happened with music. Wow. But when you take a company public, it becomes about the bottom line. Almost nobody cares about the product. Everybody cares about how much you're making at the end of it. What are the numbers? So largely, I know it's worrisome because it destroys the quality of the music. Go on the street and hear the nonsense people are vibing to. And they're vibing to it. So you now, as a producer, you have to find a way to enter that, still with your quality, but realize that you have to do a lot of songs. You have to be very productive.
If we're all using the same samples, then the sound itself all sounds the same. I remember also Hans Zimmer was saying the same because he attended like a competition of film composers, and he said, I can hear that everybody is using the same library, same VSTs. So when I think about an artist who shaped the history, I'm also thinking not just of a technique, I'm thinking about a signature sound. And that signature sound, the concept is that if you don't have a vision, you are creating music without a vision. So you are choosing a synthesizer, an AI tool, auto-tune, samples or no samples, but without a purpose. You're just doing it because you can. The real difference, in my opinion, between an artist who does what, in my opinion, is art and somebody who is just making music is to have a vision.
I'm super excited to have you on this creative Maven talk shop. This is a dream come true for me, sincerely. I've been dreaming about these things, and I started off this year bringing a lot of producers, musicians. If you're a musician or probably you're a producer or anything related to music, in the comment section you can reach out to me. You can DM. He's a music like is a manager, is an artist manager, is a music producer. You can reach out to him too. It's a platform to network together so they can meet a lot of people. And
Sure.
definitely we are on different time zone now. So
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
network
yeah.
with people from the US, people from the Spain, from
Totally.
different part of the
Totally.
country, of the world rather. So there's a platform for that.
And that's the beauty of the technology, because at the beginning we said the shortcoming of the killing the process, but this is the good part of the technology.
Exactly.
We could have never done this 15 to 20 years ago. So this is great. This is great.
Exactly. Oh my God. So I'm happy to have you on this platform,
Same here.
and I hope we'll
Thanks
be
a
able
lot
to
for
see you next
inviting.
time.
Yeah, whenever you want, man. I'm always down for this. I
Definitely.
love it.
Definitely. And once again, I am Leoma Smith, and we have.
Jake here. Thanks
Oh
a
my
lot
God.
again for
So,
the chat.
you can check my YouTube channel. I have a lot on my YouTube channel, my Instagram, my Facebook, everywhere. I'm on all the good platforms and on all social media platforms. So you can check out my stuffs there and more updates on our platform. So If you're in the comment section and you're creative, you can reach out to me and we can come up with something. Thank you and thanks for your time.
Good. Thanks a lot.
All
See
right,
you.
sir. Yeah.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.